Hello, good people. Welcome to our show. Hello, bad people. Welcome to our show. Hello, everyone who wanna learn more about AI search, ACO, or we can call GEO today, AEO, many other abbreviatures we have. Welcome because we are going to discuss a lot about that, how to survive and win on this environment, how to get organic reach, and probably we need to think more about how to get sales because it's more important according to the latest updates that we have with these AI models, AI agents, many things. And I'm so excited to discuss a lot more with Dmitry Dragilev. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? I love your intro. Really, really cool.
Yeah, big
Nice,
pleasure.
nice.
It's my team, as I have some people, I just tell them, please create some intro that people might like, so they create. So I love to cooperate with creative people. So
Awesome.
yeah, Dmitry, you didn't speak on my podcast for years, for years. So many things changed since then, probably like the entire industry. So I have a bunch of questions. Anyway, I have new listeners as well. So, can you tell more about your experience background? Because I know your link building skills are impressive. You cooperated with real big people like Brian, Dean, many others. So, yeah, tell our audience more about modern link building that you can provide and more about your experience.
That's funny. I'm actually meeting Brian Zine. I'm flying to Lisbon to meet with him in April to hang out. He's
Wow.
a good friend of mine. But yeah, I build SaaS businesses primarily in SEO. I've built 4 businesses and exited to Google and SEMrush. And SEMrush was recently announced that they'll be acquired by Adobe. And so now we'll be joining the Adobe team. I work pretty tightly with SEMrush community and the team and sort of folks at the helm to help them strategize and build new products. As a part-time consultant, I have sold 2 businesses to them, but that's my shtick. I create SEO software tools and sell them to people like SEMrush and Adobe. And in the past, I've built PR, SEO tools, PR outreach tools, all in the space of MarTech, and have sold them to Google, to Mangles, and some of the other folks out there. But I'm a SaaS entrepreneur, and that's what I love doing. That's my world, SEO. Things changed a lot, but I'm still building, still building. I'm actually building 2 new tools right now as well.
Nice, awesome, awesome. And I know link building is still important. It doesn't matter AI search, ASO. It's still very, very important because I've learned a little bit, not a little bit, a lot about these updates, how ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini can run content, and it's still the same foundation, authority. So you need to have authority because they prefer fresh content they can trust and authoritative content. So almost nothing changed since the foundation of SEO when Google created all these things. I remember when Google started later than Yahoo and AltaVista. I don't remember all these search engines, but Google changed the game with PR. Basically, that was page ranking. It's not like the PR that we have today. I mean, like, and page ranking. Because Google got in one time that it's better to rank content according to authority, like recommendations that other websites can do. And today it's the same foundation for AI search. It's still links, still mentions. So, Dmitry, I have a bunch of questions about that. Very important questions for my audience, especially about modern SEO, because for now I'm updating my own content. I'm working on my course, and I have my clients, and I try to lead them in the right direction. But what I can see today, people still pay attention to obsolete metrics. For example, like when you can show the link from Forbes, someone can say, "Wow, it's no follow." I have no idea how to get backlink from Forbes to follow. It's impossible because of their editorial style. For example, we got the mention from CNN. My PR specialist said to me, it's first time from 16 years of her experience when CNN replied and even mentioned the brand from our press release. And the client said, wow, okay, CNN, that's cool, but it's just mentioned. It's not even the link. So, Dmitry, can you say more about that? I mean, like, what kind of links, mentions, is it still a case, do follow, no follow, or just mention? Yeah, any
So
point.
you're talking a little bit about sort of the old school SEO, the way we used to do things, like when I was back on your podcast 4 years ago, even, even 2 years ago, things like that still mattered to marketers. We still thought, oh gosh, maybe we want to get a link on the CNN and maybe that'll push our results up on Google and we'll rank higher and we'll get more traffic. The thing is, nowadays, most all attention goes to Google AI overviews and ChatGPT and Perplexity and Gemini, and so you are getting zero traffic from actual blog posts ranking on position 3 and 4 and 5 on Google. Even if you're ranking position 2, the majority of sort of discovery information, it all happens in AI conversation with the LLM. And so the best you can hope for is that your brand gets mentioned in the LLM answer, and then you will get a search, or somebody will go and search your brand and go to your homepage. So marketers and CMOs now, they should be measuring traffic to the homepage and brand mentions, because those are the two things that kind of really matter. Links that we used to get, I mean, they're nice to have, but I would sort of focus on the answers that and the prompts. So which prompts do we want to go after, and which sort of answers are being optimized for it, and how can you get into that answer? So tactics these days, when we used to back in the day say, all right, let's go and get a link on CNN and a couple others, and let's get our domain authority up, and let's get to #1 spot for this specific keyword. Now it's, let's take like 10 prompts, how to find the best car insurance for millennials in New Jersey, and see what the response is, and find what is it using as a source, and use those sources to manipulate the answer itself. And so now the tactics are mainly you're doing Reddit, you're in Reddit discussions organically, you're placing your brand in the discussions, you're creating structured data like trust of record data. So for example, like Geico and State Farm Insurance, they don't disclose all the customers they have in a very comprehensive, detailed, trusted record format. So there's people out there that create ready-made sort of data pages for ChatGPT bot, OpenAI bots, and Gemini to index. And those bots, they prioritize open data from your CRM over your customers. So if you wanted to outrank some of these bigger giants, if you're a small insurance company, what you can do is you can create, disclose all your CRM data anonymously, meaning like if you had helped 1,000 customers in the last year, great. Tell me, how many quotes did you do in the last week, 2 months, 5 months? How many people did you service in New Jersey versus New Hampshire versus California and New York? Create a very detailed page in a format that chatbots like and ChatGPT likes, and submit it for indexing. And so what happens is you can outperform all these bigger players by disclosing and making yourself transparent with data. And there's other things you can do to start ranking on ChatGPT and OpenAI and Gemini and Perplexity, but these are just some examples and just how much things have shifted. So these days, people are not so much worried about getting links or clicks. We're all just focused on how was that answer constructed, what were the sources that were used there, what are the weaknesses and content gaps of the answer, how can we get in there. most of
Yeah.
the marketers are just focused around that, you know.
I think, I think even traffic can become a obsolete metric, because
Yeah.
today what almost all AI platforms do, including Google, including ChatGPT, Perplexity, they do. I mean, like they want to provide the entire process. When people, for example, let's imagine someone is looking for black sneakers for running for men. I mean, like with the size, let's imagine 10, and they can ask the entire question on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can research everything online, find best options, and after buying directly on ChatGPT, people even don't visit websites. So the same with Google. So AI agents can do all this job. And today, traffic can become an obsolete metric for many websites. So basically, we need to create content that all these models can learn from your content. And yeah, you need to become the best in all other metrics like reviews, authority, and yeah, who cares do you get traffic or not if you get sales, it's for me it's more important because sometimes I got a lot of irrelevant traffic that don't bring any sales, so it's not a good idea.
You know,
Dmitry,
in
yeah,
some
yeah,
ways, it's like I guess it's in some ways a little bit easier for new brands to start out because like the way we used to do things, it's like domain authority used to be a big thing, and we used to take like 6 months to get all these links pointing to your domain and get so many blog posts published and indexed by Google and get links to these blog posts and get them mentioned. I mean, we would spend as SEO marketers maybe a year, 6 months building a domain from nothing to something at least.
yeah,
And now you can just look and see, oh, what's the best insurance, car insurance for millennials in New Jersey? And if it fronts up some of the guys who don't have thorough data around their customers, you can say, well, that's a weak point. I can outperform that by creating a specific customer profile data where I have disclosed all my customers for the last 24 months. Month by month, I can tell exactly how many quotes I placed, how many people work for me, all that stuff, and I will have a significant upper hand over somebody like Geico. And so, yeah, it's like it's in some ways, if you know what to do, you could actually outsmart the bigger players. And it didn't used to be that way. Like you could never outdo the big behemoths if they're
yeah,
ranking there, at the top.
yeah. Dmitry, you said about branding. Yeah, he was probably the best in link building for a long time, and I learned a lot from his backlink blog. A lot of great techniques, like skyscraper technique probably
Yeah,
was revolutionary.
yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, but what about today? I mean, like, so basically, that was a great technique for a long time. But what do you think about the effectiveness of this technique today? Because according to data, that AI search can prefer content from new pages, from PR, probably guest posts. I mean, like from fresh content. But skyscraper technique is more about getting links from existing pages, where you can give a strong reason to replace the existing link or to put your link. So I've learned skyscraper technique 2.0, many other techniques, and almost all link builders change the strategy according to some preferences on personalized experience. But anyway, what do you think about this technique today?
Not as relevant for marketers in general. I think now what's relevant is like for example, the software I'm building now is about analyzing content gaps and factual inaccuracies in the Google AI answers and LLM gap answers. So specifically, what is missing and what is problematic with the answers themselves, and how can we do a better job optimizing and helping that. Because Google has published their patent on how they create the Google AI answer, and it's public, anybody can go ahead and analyze that patent. And in that patent, Google breaks down exactly how it does the query fan out, the specific ideation of creating different answers for all the different sub queries of that topic. And then it'll also create sources. They'll pick sources from the top 3 pages of Google search results and construct a cohesive answer out of it. Because all that is public and we know the patent, we can create basically a model to see what's missing in the answer, and we can optimize that. And a lot of Google, I guess, like SEO marketers that used to sort of do the skyscraper where, you pick that keyword, you try and go after getting links to it and all that stuff. Kind of I see them moving into the direction of, okay, what is missing and where's my audience? And so a lot of them are doing a lot more audience research, and a lot of them are looking at Google AI answers, looking and seeing, okay, it's including these sources. How can I get into these sources that are being used by the Google AI answer or by the ChatGPT answer? And these sources might be Reddit, or they might be another blog post on that site. Can I get included in that blog post that's being used as a source to construct this answer? And so that's really how PR and link building has changed, is that we now know the sources that are being used to construct the answer. And essentially, we want to get included in them. Now, the answer changes all the time. You could ask the same thing twice in a row, and it might be a little different. So the idea is to find something that's consistently being referenced across all these different times that you ask the same thing, and then make sure that you get somehow mentioned in that source. And if you cannot do that, then you need to create something analogous, something similar to that source that would get answered, because it's more of a better source to use for that answer. But those are the things that people are grappling with now, the link builders. They're thinking, okay, I already know this piece gets indexed a lot and it's being used heavily by, how can I get into this existing piece of content? And yeah, and then there's the whole Reddit marketing community that has awakened last year and has been gangbusters. There's so many different Reddit marketing firms now, and the idea is that you can strike up these conversations and mention brands casually here and there, and that really moves the needle here and there, coupled with a data approach, which I was talking about, creating trusted records for ChatGPT, and coupled with PR and other content initiatives. But yeah, I think skyscraper is not so much a focus these days. It's mainly prompts and figuring out what is missing in the answers and how can you muscle out some of these bigger competitors. It's still the early days, so I think young brands, it's just easier to win right now because your competition isn't that high. The data sets are not as amazing yet. And so, ChatGPT, it's pulling stuff from Google all the time because it doesn't always have the best answers. And so it's sort of like a moving time where there's definitely a room for growth for smaller brands, and it's easier for smaller brands to break through right now because the data sets are not fully complete yet in these LLM models.
Yeah. Dmitry, I want to ask about new trend today. So basically, let me share a short story. I got 4 emails from Neil Patel, basically from Neil Patel Digital, from his agency. And when I checked these emails, that was not cold outreach. That was not human written. That was AI personalization. I can call like that because it tastes like AI written content. Basically, Neil Patel or his agency can use AI to learn someone who can get these emails and personalize this message. And in all these messages, he proposed me speakers who can speak on this podcast. By the way, good speakers, real experts. I even invited one of them to speak on this podcast. And but the message was fails, because on this email I checked. We can listen to your podcast. That's not true. I'm not sure that they listen to this podcast. Probably they analyze some metrics or can find my podcast in some places and can craft this message to satisfy my intent. I don't care if they listen or not. I care about speakers if they can bring value to this podcast. But anyway, my main point about this AI personalization. So Neil Patel can personalize the message and send to recipients. I mean, like I remember for many years, I spent time to craft the skills, to write, to learn recipients, to understand how I can satisfy their intent, how I can bring value to their table. Because if you write just a generic pitch, I'm great, I'm good, nobody cares about you. Everyone cares about the value, what kind of value you can bring. Even skyscraper technique. So basically, if we check out many templates, we can see, I mean, like how you can win attention and share something that can bring value to others. For example, let's imagine you can help to update content with better the link back, it's just reward. Yeah, correct. I mean, like you can update content, you can do many things. So what do you think about personalization today, your opinion?
Sure. I mean, a lot of people are getting very personalized emails. Like I have a cold email outreach team that I employed. The company that I just sold in October to Semrush, we grew that, and a big part of the growth there was cold email outreach. And these guys were just ninjas. They would use AI to find the right contact at the right company. Then they would say, how was this person, what was their role? They would kind of map it out. And then they would look at the company website and look at the person's social media account to come up with like an intro and a subject line that was very, personal to that person based on last 5 posts they did on LinkedIn or social, Twitter. And so they ended up creating very nice tailored emails. And a lot of people can tell, like yourself, and some people do like that, and they reply to it. I think it's become a little bit easier, but AI still like fails a lot of times where it gets a lot of details wrong. And so to let something like this loose, you have to watch it very carefully. In general, I'm hearing a sentiment from people where it say, everybody's jobs are going away. This thing is going to take over. All these things we used to do by hand now gets done by a machine. I look at it differently. I look at it as like all the boring things we did that we don't want to do, we now have a machine to do it. We still need to watch the machine and figure out how to best use it. But now we have this technology. For example, like my CPA used to struggle over all these different manual entry points of putting stuff into a spreadsheet. Now they have QuickBooks and all these other tools that automatically create all the reports, and they look over it and they kind of improve things and change things, but they don't have to manually track every transaction from the bank account to a spreadsheet. So with this personalization, it was sort of similar thing. You and I used to struggle trying to find all the details about every person, create this email. It might take us like half a day to get the really good email together. Sure, AI can help us. It can speed things up a bit. We still need to review it and see if it's complete crap or is it completely failing us in our endeavors. So, I mean, I use it with a big grain of salt. It's like a thing that kind of helps, but I mean, just like the accountant, they still need to check all the P&L and all the balance sheet reports, because once the thing comes out, it always makes mistakes. Like QuickBooks doesn't add things correctly here and there. I look at it similarly, like our jobs will evolve. So if your job was to really just knock out and get a big spreadsheet of all the details about all the contacts. Now your job will be to check the spreadsheet that was generated by AI, and figure out what's wrong with the way you prompted the AI, because half of the things are wrong in there. Maybe you need to write a different prompt. You might be more productive. You might feel happier in your job. Generally, like, I don't see it as a huge, like, it takes away all these things from people and people are going to lose their like jobs. I think jobs just will evolve to more interesting jobs where we will learn how to prompt these machines to give us things that are easier and faster. Like this latest app that I built, I mean, I was able to do it in weeks versus, like, months, just by prompting and getting to an MVP, launching it, getting some feedback already.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
personalization. Yeah, we used to do it this way. Right now, there's some tools, but it's all good. Like, I think, like,
Yeah, but by the way, I can score these emails from Neil Patel 7 to 10. So basically, I mean, like, I still feel it's AI written. It's
yeah,
AI written. So it, I mean, like, but it's growing. Even I remember when ChatGPT was released in 2022. Yeah, I mean, like. Most experts said it's terrible, low quality. AI can't compete with humans, but with all new updates, less and less people can say like that. Even latest models like ChatGPT 5.2 or Gemini 3.0, I'm impressed with results. When I ask prompts, I think like even today we can kill this industry like prompt engineering. Because I mean, like in the beginning, I used a lot of different prompts. I created my prompts, but for now, GPT can understand what I mean. When I ask questions, I don't need special prompts because GPT is more smart to understand the query, what you are asking for. And
mm,
and less people can say that AI can't create quality content. So still we have hallucinations, still we have some wrong data, but it's not often like that was in the beginning. So it's growing. And
right,
today I think like we create a lot of content, but one thing that I can see today, you need to understand how to write, and you need to know specific topic. For example, I cooperated with big accounting company in the US that have great experts plus 20 years of experience. All of them have real great knowledge, but no one on this company uh, have writing skills.
mm,
Nobody. They
mhm,
just ask generic questions. They generate content that is boring to read. It's not readable because they don't have the intro that can give me a strong reason. And people can bounce fast, like for a few seconds if it's boring. I
yeah,
remember when I spoke with Jim Edwards. He worked in Business Insider for 10 years. He started on this company from scratch, and then company was sold for $500 million. He wrote a book about many things, and he said to me that success of Business Insider depends on creating non-boring content. So it's business, boring, but I mean, like writers who makes their hands dirty to write manually can set up the right prompts, can play with that. And people who pay attention to specific niche, for example, if you ask me to create great content about weight loss, I can't. I can't because I'm not an expert on that. I lost my weight like 5 years ago, but that was personal experience. I can't teach others. But I can do it on about SEO. I can do it about digital marketing because I work on this niche, and I still write a lot. So it helps me to craft the skills. So I think like today, who think that GPT can just solve all problems? Not. You still need to do some manual job to become a great in this prompt engineering. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you need to be an expert in something and know something very. You have to contribute unique content to the Google's knowledge graph.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Google and ChatGPT won't rank you. You need to have something completely unique. like with this insurance company, for example, I told them, I'm like, hey, you guys need to hire a bunch of insurance agents who know the in specific topics about their state law and how many like accidents you can have until you get this up, this quote goes up, all this detailed stuff. And so now more than ever, it's like to stand out, real writing, real knowledge is super important.
Oh, can you imagine that something happened with my uh,
Oh, some with yours, it's all good.
yeah, because it's interesting, guys. Before the our live stream, internet was bad from Dmitry's side. For now, it was bad from my side. So anyway, technology still have this problem. That's okay. Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. Okay, Dmitry, let's discuss about related to link building, about PR, digital PR. And I remember when I started digital PR, I was terrible, so terrible on that. Because we cooperated with big trading company, and this company paid $6,000 for one press release to write and distribute. A lot of money. Um, yeah, I don't want to say the agency, but the price was $6,000. So I started to write myself. I think, okay, the task was to write 12 press releases a week, 12 press releases, but and I wrote plus 100 press releases. I distributed all of them. I got zero mentions, zero links, nothing. I just got a bunch of automatic replies, a lot of automatic replies, but nobody put anything from my press releases. And I did it for 3 months. I watched a bunch of videos. I read a lot of articles, guides, tutorials. I spent a lot of time. I keep writing these press releases. And after 3 months, I got a few small links, very, very small, from probably less than 10 DR website. Then I kept writing for a long time, and after 6 months we got better results. After 9 months we got Forbes, CNN, Business Insider, many big players, real big players. So but I did it because of failing. I failed a lot, but I got it because I wrote some generic stuff. I didn't bring value to journalists. I just tried to cheat the system to manipulate. But how you can manipulate people on Forbes, on and other resources? You need to bring value. And what I did differently: first, I learned myself how to write press releases. Then I explain this model to people on this company. So basically, we had some great writers who posted content on different publications, Investopedia, many big websites. And I told them, okay, you know how to write evergreen content, but PR is different. Let's bring value in trending topics. Let's cover with our niche. And after that, after working for a long time, we got results. But the last time I can see the reply rate is lower today because journalists can get a lot of AI generated press releases. They got a lot of useless pitches, and it's not even similar that we got results like 2-3 years ago. Today, probably I can imagine these journalists, their emails are bombarded with all this AI useless stuff. Can you tell, what do you think about modern PR? How to win attention journalists today?
You know, I follow Rand Fishkin a lot. I've met him a number of times, and he was sort of, when I was coming up as a marketer and I was learning about the craft, Rand Fishkin's blog, SEO Moz back in the day, now was Moz afterwards, really like I built a connection with him. So I met him. We met a number of times. And then my wife interviewed Rand Fishkin when he switched jobs with his friend Will Reynolds, who runs Sear Creative. He switched roles where he was a CEO of his friend's company and his friend was CEO of Moz. It was a funny time, and my wife interviewed both of them. And since then, we've been friends. And though now he has a company called Spark Toro, and he's been kind of on this topic of PR as the GPT stuff has been coming up. And he really, I think, found the right niche for marketers these days. So nowadays, it's finding where are your audience hanging out, specifically which podcasts, which social media accounts, which influencers, which meetups, which communities online, which email newsletters. And so he built this whole tool around, hey, type in your keywords, your terms, and we'll tell you who is talking about your topics and how popular they are. And here are the communities. This is the communities, influencers, blogs, podcasts, whatever it is. And I think PR is entering this sort of like, you will have much more impact if you build a relationship with a podcast that has your ideal audience on it, or a newsletter, or a meetup group, or an email list, or a news, like an influencer. If you have those connections to those groups of people that are specific, it becomes much more organic for you to come on the show or talk to them, or figure out a way to sort of talk about what you do. And he capitalized on this. He built a whole audience research platform. That's all he does is Spark Toro. But I think his approach has been very smart in a world where it's super noisy, where everybody's like just trying to get to CNN or whatever, Forbes. It's like, for us as a brand, if you're like, say, insurance company or an accounting firm, like for you to get clients, going after like Forbes might not be the right thing. Even if you're on a homepage of Forbes, like that's everybody and their mother is on that page. So for you, it might be like people who are on Intuit or on the tax advice column on taxadvice.com or something like this. And so for you, it's worthwhile to do research right now to find 20 popular podcasts, 10 popular meetup groups, 13 popular blogs, and 15 popular newsletters that are catering to tax advice, people who need tax advice and subscribe to it. There need to be vibrant communities, people, maybe a YouTube channel, for example. I have a good friend who's a YouTuber, and he creates YouTube like videos when he finds a content gap on YouTube. And so PR has moved into this, all right, we're going to find our niche, like our community. It's going to be this YouTuber. I'm going to work with them, or this is going to be this podcast. There's going to be this newsletter, or it might be a combination of them. And then I'm going to create content for them. I help them create content for their audience, because I know that their audience are going to be the ones that convert for me as a customer. And so it's different. I think now it's much more specialized, a little bit more direct marketing, like back in the day, and less sort of like, let's just get to TechCrunch.com and let's get mentioned in TechCrunch and get to the top, like, so that's really, I think, where things changed a lot.
Yeah, got it.
Like I just, it's just different, but it's a cool tool. And I think it shows you a lot about like where your audience at, like who's talking about your topics, and it should be super targeted.
Yeah, got it. Dmitry, you build amazing companies, sold to big companies, Semrush, Google, and I want to ask about new companies that you building now. I mean, like LLM Gap Analyzer, YouTube Gap Analyzer, and I'm quite interested about that because it's controversial, a little bit controversial. Let me share why. What you can see today, some experts can say you don't need to track any LLM results. Many experts can say, even big experts can say and explain that because AI can personalize prompts, I mean, like results for any prompts to different accounts. So basically, I remember, for example, when my brother can say when he argue with his wife is going to ChatGPT and ask who is right to share all arguments, and all the time ChatGPT can say she's right, not him. So basically, L- yeah, it's funny, but LLM can personalize. LLM want to satisfy someone who can consume this content. For example, if someone can love Donald Trump, I'm pretty sure that LLM will show something from Fox News. If someone can love Democrats, they can get results from CNN. So, I mean, like, because it's personalization. Can you tell how is different your tools, this LLM gap analyzer or YouTube gap analyzer, accordingly to this personalization?
Sure, yeah. So for YouTube Gap Analyzer, so when we do research to find what YouTube videos we should rank for, there are three metrics that I like to look at. One is negative sentiment in the comments. So we look at negative comments on the video. If the video is ranking at the very top for your keyword and there's more than 3 negative comments in it, that's a huge weakness. That is a way you can outrank that videos, because Google doesn't like to see a lot of negative comments. If there's negativity in the comments, that means there is something with the video that needs to go away. People are dissatisfied with it for some reason. And that's one. So we try and catch that. The other thing is, if the video is created with AI, and the majority of it, like 99% of it, is created with AI. So you can actually pull the transcript of the video and push it through an AI model and ask it, hey, did you create this? Was this created by AI or real person talking here? And it'll detect it. If the video is created by AI, the majority of people who are viewing an AI generated video generally don't like it. We like to know that we're looking at real authentic people. And so we mark that down as a weakness as well. And the other big thing with YouTube is audio quality. We all hate bad quality on the video because we cannot hear what they're saying most of the time. We're doing something else. So we detect those things, and we just literally find keywords where these are weak points, and we tell you, hey, there are problems with this keyword because there's issues here, and we show you how to outrank them because we know these problems. So that's with YouTube SEO. I've done this many times and I just never productized it. So I'm building a tool now that helps people to just easily find YouTube search words where that's the case. The top videos got bad comments, got AI generated content, or poor audio. Pretty simple, and it works really well. It has worked before the rise of LLMs and even works now with YouTube. And that's specifically to YouTube SEO. With LLM Gap Analyzer, the genesis of it, when it was started, I started it based on Google AI Mode patent. And this was the patent that Google published to tell everybody, hey, here's how we create Google AI Answer. And when they published it, I analyzed it, trained my model on it, and my model was always very specific about, so I would run it in a logged out state, and I would test it with my friends around the world, and I would say, all right, please tell me if this is catching anything. And essentially it would use the Google AI Mode patent to tell me if there's any content gaps, meaning articles that it's taking are more than 3 years old, that it's putting into the sources, constructing the sources from it. Or articles that it's taking are not opening up on phones. The page is loading 5 seconds or more. Or there's trouble reading. The readability of the articles is poor. Or there's no citations in the articles that it's using. So all these things are actually outlined in the patent. So if the Google AI Answer is violating its own patent, meaning it's taking sources that are problematic, they're old, they don't open up on mobile, they are hard to read, there's no citations in the sources for that topic. These are all rules that Google has defined for itself. So if Google is violating it by their app kind of running it, then we detect it. We say, hey, by the way, Google, like your patent says this. You just pulled like a bunch of sources that are not good. Hey, SEO marketer, you might want to look at this result because that's what we see. Now we do run into the issue, like you said, with Google. Like a lot of people are logged in, and so what we try and do is we can try to run the answer on a logged out machine ourselves and scrape it. Takes a long time. And so we use SERP API right now, and they do a good job. Like we have measured what the result of SERP API, and actually we know that ChatGPT now uses SERP API as well for a lot of their queries. It was recently discovered. Rand even posted stuff about it, and so essentially we rely on SERP API now for data for that. And that was the original point of that LLM gap analyzer. We have moved into LLM gap analyzer with ChatGPT and Perplexity. And right now, that's a little bit of a harder battle to solve because their things are all over the place. It doesn't even know how it determines the answer. I call it like a spicy autocomplete. The sky is blue because it saw 5 million times that the sky is blue. But if today it's cloudy, like the thing says blue, it's like, oh, sorry, yeah, I guess it's cloudy. Don't worry, cloudy. Satisfy the user. So it's like finding factual inaccuracies is widely like much harder. So we use open source frameworks. We also ground it with Google result, and we just compare. We try to see, like, is it different? Is it not different, from the Google result? And I don't know, like, if this is enough yet. We are finding issues, and we're saying, okay, Google outputs this, ChatGPT completely different in this topic, said this. We see a problem between the two, but in terms of which one is right, I don't know.
Yeah, I think like it's a really great idea about LLM gap analyzer. For me, it's like really great idea because we had similar tools for SEO, traditional SEO, yeah, when you can find gaps. And for example, we analyze that was my loving strategy for a long time. So basically, when we market some specific brands, we didn't check out even traditional keyword research because that was overwhelmed. We search for content that Google can provide some irrelevant data. For example, when you put specific keywords, long tail keywords that can sell much better, we analyze, okay, if results irrelevant, that means Google doesn't have good results. We need to help with that. So yeah, it's a really good idea. I like it. Really like it, this idea.
It's still like we're still developing. I think we have to improve it a bunch to make sure that it's actionable, but it's cool. Like it's working. And then we'll chat with Semrush more and see how we can launch it within their community. Maybe we'll do it even separately as well.
Yeah.
I know for sure YouTube Gap Analyzer was just approved to be a separate app on their App Center. So we're doing our best to get that out the door here soon, hopefully in the next 3-4 months.
Yeah. But what about the YouTube Gap Analyzer? I mean, like from my side, I just share what I can think about that. Basically, I can see data. For example, data can show that people today, 47 or 46, I don't remember exactly the number, but let's imagine 46% of people can follow at least one AI influencer. And sometimes they even don't know that was created by AI. For example, I can watch some historical videos on YouTube. I love it. My brother can listen to audio podcasts created by AI. It's valuable. It's interesting to listen or to watch. And I don't care it's AI or not. I think like AI is growing. I remember when ChatGPT was released, many people complained about the quality. But for now, I can speak with many experts, real big experts, who can say AI can write better than them, much better, because AI can write in thousand different models. I can admit AI, of course, can write better than me. I can just create the draft. I the last time I don't pay a lot of attention to grammar, to structure, because I can just write all my thoughts, and AI can do a great piece from my thoughts. So even blog posts,
So
anything like that.
yeah, like historical stuff or biographies, sure. I'm mainly concerned on like comparing the two tools, for example, or like comparison alternative solutions, seeking keywords. That's where I saw that there's some distrust with
Mhm.
viewers. So if you're comparing like what car to get and it's a review of a car, or if you're getting which speakers to get or headphones or what kind of this to get that, they want to see a real life person kind of like reviewing
Yeah,
things. So when we go after those keywords and we spot that it's like fake, like it's auto generated, we also try to look at the actual content in it and to see if it has. We'll take the transcription and basically look at to see if it's got content gaps compared to the actual Google search results, to see if there is some information that's already on the Google AI answer that the YouTube video at the top failed to address. We will show that to them and let them know, because
yeah,
a lot of times AI generated stuff fails to address some of the main things that are
yeah.
listed in Google AI answer, a generic answer.
Yeah,
So
I think I know your target audience, because, for example, if I watch videos about historical events, I love it. I love it. But when I can get any video about political stuff, I always doubt about the resource. So basically, I check out. Okay, if this account has million followers, okay, I can trust this resource. But if I see a new account can share some thoughts about any political event, yeah, I never trust that because a lot of AI generated videos. So I think like it depends on the niche, and yeah, requirement will be higher when it's very important. Like in EEAT, Google pays attention to health and finance. Where it can impact to well-being. So it's the same. I mean, like if it's important, because uh, content creators who create videos about historical events, they don't try to cheat, they don't try to manipulate your opinion. It's just it happened like a lot of time ago. But when we speak about existing events, it's very yeah, it's I remember this event on Romania, when on TikTok, some candidate could win huge audience and became a president. Then the court decided not, that was manipulated. So I mean, like yeah, today these videos, AI generated videos, can impact to a lot of people. Yeah, it's a big problem. I think like it depends on the niche, and yeah, for like political stuff, I think this tool can be must have. It's my opinion.
thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
um, it's like I'm still brainstorming some features in it, as you can tell. So like the top three I used to use to kind of find things, but I'm thinking of doing content gap analysis between the real Google results and
Mhm.
YouTube, and like comparing the two, and then telling the person, the marketer, the YouTuber, like, hey, it's missing some of these things. Basically, whatever is ranking at the top, what are all the weaknesses, all the problems we can find? And I'm always like thinking about it, like how can I expedite the process? So now, like, there's not much for YouTube that do this kind of stuff. Like, I was sitting down with my friend. He's a great YouTuber, so funny. He's like a comedian, and he
Mhm.
makes money off like affiliate stuff. He makes videos for whoever, and then he takes a portion of this stuff. And he reviews products. Really funny, tall guy, wants to be a comedian. And I'm like, how do you do keyword research? He's like, well, I don't know. Like, I look at the stuff, and then I'm like, we're gonna look manually. I go here, check around the comments, negative. I'm like, there's
Wow.
nothing out there like for YouTubers to do proper keyword research. I'm like, no. He showed me like one tool. I'm like, that sucks, man. Like, so I was just like, there's such a lack of tools. I don't know. Like, there are a few, but nothing great out
Yeah.
there. Versus like for us, for SEO, regular SEO people, just tons of keyword research tools. Like it's like tons, like
Yeah.
keywordtool.com, like keyword.com, like SEMrush, Ahrefs, but then we have
Yeah.
like tons of others. Like they have like nothing. I think you said it's something like TubeRanker or something, and it didn't even tell you the weaknesses or problems. It just gave you a bunch of keywords. Something.
Yeah. But by the way, I have one project in trading niche, and we grew ranking positions 3 times, but traffic was dropped 3 times as well. So I mean,
Wow.
like, yeah, because of
Yeah.
Google AI mode in overview, and but we also paid attention to video. And we filmed a lot of videos, AI generated videos, but quality videos. That was like mix between humans and AI, and we posted everywhere. And I didn't expect that the biggest engagement we can get on Facebook. We thought YouTube can crush it. We thought about TikTok, Instagram, and we just repurposed on Facebook. We repurposed. We didn't do anything else. Just repurposed videos without any boosting, without any sharing. But Facebook can provide 1 million views for a brand each week. Each week for AI generated videos, we analyze. I was shocked about that. Then I started to learn more, and I got it. Facebook needs this reels. Facebook really needs this reels because demand is much higher than Facebook can propose. And for now, I think like this project started to work great when we stopped paying attention to keyword research, to be honest, because
That's
all
good.
of them are coming from feeds, just interest. We just film videos that people can watch. I mean, like, we don't know even, I mean, like, we did it in the beginning, keyword research, we analyzed, we crafted scripts. But when we started to pay attention to interest, and yeah, this channel started to grow. So I think like it depends on the niche, but sometimes even yeah, I like the strategy when someone can learn comments and film content that his audience wanna consume. Yeah, it's my opinion.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, like, everybody's different. I love consulting. That's why it's like I can't leave it completely. Even building
Mhm.
companies, selling them, building, selling them. I'll always keep like a consulting client on the side because it inspires me to build new stuff, but also kind of
Understand.
interesting as everything is changing to do something
Yeah.
new, you know?
Yeah. Dmitry, I have my final question, very important question. I don't remember where I saw this post from Brian Dean. Probably, or Brian Dean posted in some place, or someone said to me who spoke with Brian Dean. But anyway, the main point was if he started the company today, he will use different methods from uh, backlinko marketing methods or exploding topics that he acquired and sold to Semrush. Uh, you have two new projects: YouTube Gap Analyzer, LLM Gap Analyzer. I think both are great, really great products. And I think demand can be high according to specific audience. Can you tell, will you use traditional link building methods to grow these projects, or you will change something to grow the audience and for this?
I think I'm not. I'm not going to do traditional link building. I'm not even going to do traditional PR methods to grow it. I think the way to grow is to find your distribution partners. So, like I was saying, the podcasts, the newsletters,
Mhm.
the meetups, and go directly to them and just let them know what you're doing, create content together with them, and sort of utilize the direct marketing approach. So I no longer think it really makes any sense to try and rank my content on my blog to number one. The blog on my content might be interesting enough for whatever LLMs to ingest, but I'm going to, if I need customers now, I'm going to have to use sort of more old school sort of methods. Like you said, like if you find a community on Facebook, a specific podcast, an influencer on YouTube, if I can find that my audience is hanging out in this one little corner of the web, I'm just going to focus on that one corner and just try and get as many customers in the door as possible. That's why I love the SEMrush community so much, because there's so many App Center users. The App Center is like their Apple App Center, but they have their own App Center where it's an extension of a SEMrush platform. And so you can build something for the App Center. And if the product is good and is a good fit, then it'll get promoted in the SEMrush community. And it's one way to acquire customers. And the other way is just finding the blogs, the YouTube people, the influencers, the direct influencers who have your audience already. And I think that's the way marketing sort of needs to be done now. Reddit, YouTube, but wherever you find those communities, it doesn't have to be, it could be like a blog somewhere in your niche if you're listening, but it's direct marketing now. It's not necessarily like, let's build blog links, rank, try and get into TechCrunch, CNN, Business Insider, get into news publications. No, none of this anymore. It's more like super direct niche. Like, here's the group I want to go after. Who are my distribution partners? I think of that even before I build the product. Like, I honestly think, like, if I build this YouTube thing, who is going to distribute it? If LLM I'm going to bring, who is going to distribute this thing? And then try to think through that process of like, how likely will they do it? Things like this. Because it's so important now. Because a lot of us have ideas, we build it, we have no clue how we're going to market it. We try and hire an agency, they have no clue. And so we just spend so much money and time trying to figure out how we market things. And so I try to iron that out as I'm building the idea of the product. So like with YouTube Gap Analyzer, I already got approval from SEMrush App Center to launch the thing. I haven't even built it fully. Like, it doesn't even fully work. Like, you and I were discussing, like, some features don't even make sense to have that I'm thinking about. But I already ironed out some of the ways I'm going to acquire customers from SEMrush through the App Center. It's going to be my first way. The second way will be probably some YouTube things. Maybe I'll do some podcasts as well, maybe live events. But those are the things I'm thinking about as I'm building that tool. And I think it's important. If you have a project or something you're working about, think about the distribution first. And then as you're building the product together with the distribution, reach out to the distribution partner. How would they promote it? Would they like the idea? How do they like the idea? Get the conversation going. And then as they give you feedback, great. You can use that feedback to interpret it and pull them in. Because if they give you feedback, then you can build something, come back to them, say, hey, I built something, take a look. And then that process of going back and forth, now you have a partner. Then when you're ready to launch, they can promote it. So I always utilize this approach, the feedback to get a friend and an acquaintance partnered up with you, and really thinking through who's going to promote as I think of the idea for the product.
Yeah, got it. Nice. Yeah, got it. Yeah, so definitely it doesn't matter what kind of product you have. It's not the same that we did 10 years ago. So yeah, marketing change, customer attention shift change. Yeah. So, but you still can find ways how to promote communities, organic reach on YouTube, TikTok. It doesn't matter. Find the way. Yeah, we can get great
Yeah.
results. Dmitry, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for coming back to my podcast,
Of
by
course.
sharing all these valuable bombs. I love this experience. You can get back anytime. You don't need to
Thank
wait
you.
for years.
Thanks.
You can
Thanks.
come anytime. So I like.
I'm gonna hang out with Brian Dean in April, so I'll mention your podcast to him. Maybe he'll come on. He does absolutely nothing these days. I
Yeah,
asked him,
really.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Because I was like, I haven't seen any stuff from you, dude. Like, come on. He's like, I play tennis and like drink wine,
Wow.
and I was like, that's it, dude. Like, that's it. Like, he goes, that's it. They're like, nothing, nothing. I'm like, and nothing
Uh,
is like brewing, nothing. I'm like, okay, all right, well,
got
you
it.
earned it,
So
I guess, you know. But
yeah,
I'm gonna
he,
hang out, see what he's up to, and see if there's any
yeah.
value and value bombs he can give us on what he's thinking about. But I don't think he's doing much at all. He's got no endeavors in the professional in the marketing space at very least. Maybe he's running like some cafe or something, but honestly he's been telling me nothing. I was just texting with him a week ago.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. He earned that. So basically, I think like if you can earn, you can yeah do nothing. But for me, job it's like my action. It's my fire. I
I
love it.
have to be doing, I'm like you, I have to be doing stuff, so
Yeah, for me too. I don't have financial freedom, so I need to keep pay these bills. Especially for my wife. He can with big bills. Yeah, Dmitry, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for this valuable insights. Tell the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
go to criminallyprolific.com. I didn't put that on my little profile under my name, but that's my site, my little corner of the web, criminallyprolific.com, and you'll find all the info there.
Nice, nice, guys. I opened this website. It's by the way very creative, simple and creative. So if you reach out to Dmitry, just let him know that you heard about him on this podcast. Real valuable for me, and yeah, I recommend to anyone to follow Dmitry because you can see many things are changing, and it's better to learn from someone who knows how to achieve success. Because when you build for companies and can sell to Google and Semrush, I think he knows this stuff. Okay, guys, love you. See you.